It's back, ladies and gentlemen. A UK government grant of up to £3,750 off a new electric car. But have the Department of Transport deliberately set the threshold to £37,000 to exclude Tesla vehicles? Surely not, but fear not. I don't suppose the government or Department for Transport are aware that Tesla is about to drop more affordable vehicles that I'd assume would be under that £37,000 threshold, meaning that we could soon see a £33,250 or even lower price Tesla. Ooh, let's take a look at this BBC article outlining the new grant and some quite frankly ridiculous anti-EV claims sprinkled into the article at the end. The cost of some new electric cars will soon be reduced by up to £3,750 under grants being introduced by the government to encourage drivers to move away from petrol and diesel vehicles. The discounts will apply to eligible vehicles costing up to £37,000, with the most environmentally friendly vehicles seeing the biggest reductions, the Department for Transport said. I hope and assume this means only battery electric vehicles, not hybrids, will receive the grants, as hybrids cannot function without engines, still produce exhaust emissions and offer the worst of both worlds. More maintenance, a tiny useless battery with limited range and a reliance on fossil fuels, making them less environmentally friendly than fully electric vehicles that, let's face it, nowadays offer way more range than most people need. The average range of a new battery electric vehicle in the UK for 2025 is approximately 257 miles, based on real-world estimates. Most Brits don't do that in a week. Or could the most environmentally friendly vehicles seeing the biggest reductions mean looking into car manufacturers' environmental credentials, such as Tesla running its global supercharger network on renewable energy, or its recycling program where, according to Tesla's 2024 impact report, the company significantly increased its battery material recovery efforts. Specifically, Tesla supported the recovery of enough battery materials to produce over 21,000 Model Y rear-wheel drive vehicles in 2024. Another slice of evidence as to Tesla's environmental credentials. How about Giga Berlin's way lower than average water consumption of just 1.8 cubic meters per vehicle, and it recycles nearly 100% of processed wastewater. All things that could position Tesla vehicles as top candidates for the highest discounts due to their industry-leading sustainable practices. We'll see. Car makers can apply for funding from Wednesday, with the RAC saying discounted cars should start appearing at dealerships within weeks. But some drivers have previously told the BBC that ultimately the UK needs more charging points to spur people to buy electric vehicles. Really? The vast majority of EV drivers will just charge from home. There are also chargers literally everywhere for those who can't. I really feel at this point the only people screaming EVs don't work and you can't charge them are those that have never driven one. The government has pledged to ban the sale of new fully petrol or diesel cars from 2030. Personally, I think the government should remove this ban and all the negative press it receives and let the market decide. Will car manufacturers continue to produce more affordable EVs as battery costs continue to decline year after year? Yes! Making it the no-brainer of no-brainers to buy a car that doesn't require costly servicing, maintenance, or the purchase and burning of fossil fuels continuously. Under the scheme, discounts will range between £1,500 and £3,750, and buyers will be able to claim a discount at the dealership. Trouble is, what's to stop dealerships simply inflating the base price of the cars? Recommended retail prices are guidance after all. Tesla's online price of what you see is what you pay maintains fair purchasing pricing, but dealerships? Car prices are all over the place and are as predictable as the weather. Do you see this being a problem? Let me know in the comments below. The grants to lower the cost of EVs will be funded through a £650 million scheme and will be available for 3 years. There are around 1.3 million electric cars on Britain's roads, but currently only around 82,000 public charging points. Only 82,000? It's not nothing, is it? This includes over 16,000 rapid and ultra-rapid chargers, 50 kilowatts and above, with Tesla operating the most rapid ultra-rapid chargers with over 2,000 in operation. For context, there are just 8,300 petrol stations left in the UK, down from a whopping 40,000 in the late 60s. But of course, people can't just buy a petrol pump and bolt it onto their house, can they? However, they can fit a simple wall charger and fill up every night whilst they sleep. At the weekend, Transport Secretary Heidi Alexander said the government would invest £63 million to fund EV charging points. A mere drop in the ocean, really, when considering wasteful government spending these days. Best not go down that rabbit hole. Steve Catling, managing director of Vauxhall, told the BBC's Today programme that Vauxhall welcomed the government's action, but increasing customer demand and creating more charging points were two areas that needed action. In terms of the amount of electric vehicles sold, he said, the target this year is 28%. At the moment, we're running at 21.6% as an industry. Could it be that successful brainwashing campaigns against electric cars played a part in the slower than expected uptake? It baffles me that people I chat to still rehash ridiculous old arguments like fear of battery replacements, greater fire risk, range anxiety, dirty electricity production. Things I might have believed 17 years ago after listening to Top Gear. These are no longer concerns in the year 2025. Mr. Catlin also highlighted the government's target of going from 82,000 charging points to 300,000 by 2030. The article goes on to say, so 40% of households in the UK don't have a driveway, therefore they're less likely to have a home charger, and therefore they're less likely, of course, to buy an electric car on that basis. Did you know that over 1 in 5 UK households don't own a vehicle at all? And I assume rely on public transport instead. Many EV drivers without driveways can often charge at work or still charge from home with a cable across the pathway. Not a problem at all as long as it's neatly and safely covered or even built into the path, as companies like CurbCharge offer. Charging this way once a week to fill up a 200 to 300 mile range EV isn't such a big deal. Neither is popping to a rapid charger every now and again if you want the benefits of an electric car. Zero maintenance, greater efficiency with its better use of energy, cheaper to run, no exhaust emissions. The point is, things are only going to improve for this 40% of drivewayless homeowners with multiple charging options elsewhere, ever decreasing costs of new EVs with greater range and quicker charge times. And I best not even go down the road of you won't need to buy a car in the future once autonomous vehicles and robotaxis become the norm. Probably at about the same time where 300,000 charging ports will become available to you when you need them the least. Announcing the new support, Alexander said, this EV grant will not only allow people to keep more of their hard-earned money, it will help our automotive sector seize one of the biggest opportunities of the 21st century. But Shadow Transport Secretary Gareth Bacon said, Labour are forcing families into more expensive electric vehicles before the country is ready, adding that EVs were a product people demonstrably do not want. Interesting statement that, as I've never met an EV owner that has or would go back to an internal combustion engine car. Labour are putting net zero ahead of common sense and ahead of the family finances, he said. Now, this statement, I've come to realise, I'm more aligned with. Card in the corner if you want to see my confessions on net zero madness. I think it raises some excellent points and I'd love to hear what you think about my views there. I'll line it up to play next at the end of this video. The government said the discount means that zero-emission cars are now cheaper to buy and run than ever before and comes on top of preferential tax rates, delivering real savings for working families. The BBC go on to finish their article with a little public opinion. Jimmy Kim, a 43-year-old from London, has been weighing up whether or not he can afford to move to electric. The financial argument for an EV vehicle compared to an efficient petrol or hybrid vehicle doesn't add up at all, he said. He added that the long-term cost of EV ownership, coupled with the fact that cars devalue after 10 years, means it doesn't make any logical sense to buy one in the current economic climate. What long-term cost of EV ownership? There is none. But Paul Cole, 38, also from London, said he wouldn't go back to a petrol car. I would say, having made the switch, that it is brilliant and you should do it if you have the infrastructure to do so, he told the BBC. We have recently moved house and there was a charging point already in the driveway when we moved in. We have since had solar panels installed as well, so an electric car made perfect sense, he added. He adds that to save money on the electricity needed to charge the car, he charges the car overnight when electricity is at the cheapest. We've now had it 2 years and haven't regretted getting it for a moment. Caroline Hammond, 49, from North Devon, would like to buy an electric car, but due to living in the countryside, says she has a lower electricity supply than some standard properties. She says she has spoken to National Grid about upgrading their supply, but was quoted a price of £16,500 plus VAT. That makes it sadly too pricey, she says. Just in case there is any confusion, there is no difference in electricity wherever you travel around Britain. A socket will either power your kettle or power your car. Caroline Hammond here has perhaps been misinformed that she needs to upgrade to a 3-phase connection which would triple the speed of a Tesla wall charger like mine from 7 kilowatts to 21 kilowatts. Totally unnecessary unless you need to fully charge a car within 2 or 3 hours at home. Perhaps she can't have a 7 kilowatt charger installed, but she could just have a plug socket put on the side of her house and charge slowly overnight. Honestly, the level of misinformation out there. Are you happy to hear that EV grants are back? Do you think Tesla will soon make available their more affordable models and slip right under this 37 grand grant threshold? I'd love to hear your thoughts, and do give this a watch next. It's controversial, I guess, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it too. I'm Will, this is the Tesla Jigsaw. Thank you, patrons. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.